Normally, Madeline's mom or grandparents bring her to school. She does not recall a time when Stefan has ever brought Madeline to school. So that's from her friend. Let me bring in our experts and our guests. Joining us in Orlando, Florida, psychotherapist and CEO of Life Counseling Solutions, Dr. Janie Lacy. True crime live streamer on YouTube, Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates, who yesterday released a brand new episode diving into all of these Madeline Soto documents. Check it out after the show. Not before, but after or during. Also joining us, forensic criminologist Dr. Laura Petler. And finally, also in Orlando, editor of the Osceola News-Gazette, Ken Jackson is with us. Dr. Janie Lacy, I'm going to begin with you on this, what I just read from the counselor, from Madeline's friend. What do you hear in this? What do you sense? What does it mean about the dynamic and what was going on here?
Well, what that would mean to me is that Madeline knew that she had to probably keep this as a secret. And this probably happened very early on, right? When we think about threatening her and secrecy and perhaps understanding some type of consequences, abusers normally put some type of fear out there and they control the relationship. So as her friend was describing the constant texting and communication, abusers normally will control that relationship, but they do it methodically because over time there's been trust that's been built and there's been a connection and there's probably been some level of isolation, and probably she's been used to him being a resource to her and the mom. So when I hear the interview by the therapist, I would also hear that there was obviously some concern there, but this part would probably be the deep, dark secret that she was keeping.
Ken Jackson, as I'm listening to this, it seems an incredibly thorough investigation. They're speaking to everyone connected to Madeline. Of course, it began as a missing person, then became a murder investigation. But from what we're hearing, it doesn't seem like Madeline told anyone about this.
Right, and what I've seen from the documents so far, it just seems like there isn't that triggering term that, say, a counselor would be overly concerned about to take the investigation to the next step. You know, Madeline kept this close to the vest if this was happening at home. She gave little pieces like Stephanie creeps me out. He's home all of the time. But nothing that would, overly concern an expert. I mean, this is a pattern of behavior in cases like this where there's abuse at home from an authority figure at home, and it's really actually sad to see that there wasn't just that little extra to make someone else outside a counselor or someone like that investigate more. Absolutely.
I want to read this, Greg, because this is another disturbing incident here. A coworker who I guess dated or had some sort of relationship with Stearns came forward. You know, this thing is so high profile. The coworker stated that Stefan Stearns told her, although he was separated from his girlfriend, he still slept at Jen's residence and specifically in bed with Madeline. The coworker said that Stefan Stearns justified this behavior by saying he needed to cuddle with her so she could fall asleep. The coworker further recalled the conversation she had with Stefan Stearns where he told her that he woke up in bed with Madeline with an erection and had to turn around in the bed. He's telling this to a woman he's dating. The coworker felt the comments Stefan Stearns made to her about sleeping with Madeline were inappropriate, and she stopped talking to him. He is saying this stuff out loud, Gray, out loud to a woman that he's in some sort of a dating relationship with. Like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, what was he thinking that she would be excited about that? I mean, did she have a daughter herself and he thought maybe he could try? I mean, we don't know what the hell this guy's thinking, but that makes absolutely no sense that you would say that to a woman as if they would react in some positive way. I mean, her reaction was exactly how it would be.
Yeah.
Just creeped out.
Creeped out, get away from me. I don't need to talk to you anymore. Dr. Laura Petler, looking at this case and trying to understand how he could get away with this for so long. for so long. The allegations are it's going back years, this abuse. But it seems from everything we're hearing, he continued it even though he wasn't with Jen. Like, he's not even sleeping with the mother. He's just going over to the house to apparently abuse Madeline.
Right, Vinny, yes, it does appear that way. And in cases like this that we see that do result in violent crime or homicide, it's very often that the statements of the victim are not analyzed from like a statement analysis standpoint or from like a qualitative victimology standpoint. So sometimes it can be overlooked by professionals, or it's not caught by professionals that are counselors or otherwise, to the red flags that we would actually catch in statement analysis. So for him to be continuing to do this and her to be keeping a secret, a lot of times these offenders groom the victims to believe that they are actually having a secret relationship. And it sounded to me like, from the friend standpoint, that it's possible that there might have been something like that going on. It's very difficult for me to know because I can't actually hear or read what Madeline's words were exactly. That would be much more informative to me than the summation of it. So I think that it's very common in these types of cases. We've seen this, unfortunately, many times. And to keep a secret is definitely a motive for murder.
All right, Dr. Janie Lacy, I want you to listen to Stephen Stearns in his police interview. And again, this is another one of these creepy moments of Stephen Stearns.
She brings a lot of joy. She's a very good girl. It definitely doesn't feel the same around here if she's not here. She was so happy, too. She was looking forward to my visit here. She was looking forward to us all being together. She was just happy. She was just very happy. I loved her like she was my own.
Do you hear? He's like raising himself up, right? Like, I'm the one who makes her happy. It's me. And we heard the exact opposite of what Madeline was telling her school counselor.
Absolutely. He's in a position of power. So him and these statements are very delusional, and probably was projecting onto her what he wanted in this delusions, because we know the absolute, her words from the therapist, uncomfortable, and him being in the home. So we know that her reality was very different, but he was in a position of power. So he can create that relationship to however he wanted it to be in these positions of power, and these abusers, when they do that. So they operate from this sadistic almost fantasy. And it sounds like to me that that's exactly what he was doing.
Dr. Janie Lacy, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much. Our other guests are staying with us. When we come back, we are going to take a look at some new information that we're learning about Stephen Stearns. Again, there are hundreds and hundreds of documents. We're going through it piece by piece. But we have some real insight coming up next.